America runs on dairy. In fact, the average American consumes 667 pounds of dairy each year. So if we're consuming that much dairy, we want to consume the best dairy. This is the best dairy producer in the US. They process over 9 million gallons of milk each year, and the question I have is, how are dairy products actually made, and what makes this one the best? We're gonna visit the farms they work with, meet the founder himself, get a behind-the-scenes look at the production floor, and of course, try the products out to see why dairy is so important and what makes it the best in the US. And as you all know, all dairy starts from a single cow.
Back in 1994, 31 years ago, I converted this dairy to be the first certified organic dairy west of the Mississippi River, and at the same time started Straus Family Creamery to be the first 100% organic creamery in the United States. And since then, we have almost 90% of the dairies in Marin-Sonoma County are certified organic. Our mission is to sustain family farms in Marin-Sonoma County by providing high quality, minimally processed organic dairy products, and to help revitalize rural communities through education and advocacy everywhere.
This is Albert Straus. He's the founder of Straus Family Creamery, and his farm is almost like a testing ground for new innovations in the farming space. For example, these giant trucks are powered by electricity generated from the cows themselves.
So you have to contain all the manures when the cows are eating or milking into lagoons. The bacteria that digest the manure give off methane gas. We use the methane as a fuel to produce electricity and hot water. We'll have an 80 to 90% reduction in our methane emissions on this farm.
What we'll quickly learn is that this creamery is one of the most innovative in the world, but every day starts with the human touch of milking each of the cows.
The cows are all in pasture during the grazing season, which is February into July. Otherwise, they just have access to pasture.
How many total cows are there on the property?
About 300 total cows.
And they get milk twice a day?
Twice a day.
But this is not the only farm that supplies milk for the creamery. In fact, Straus works with a number of farms in the area that are all small scale with a focus on quality.
So we're trying to maintain small scale dairy farms and keep local rural communities intact that support these farms, which have disappeared across this country and around the world.
So we headed off to visit two of the farms that they work with to see the different approaches they have to farming. This is Kathy Tresch, and she wanted to show us around the farm, so we hopped in her UTV and headed out. They were one of the first farms that worked with Straus, and their approach has always been one that's tied to the land.
So our mission here is to produce healthy, organic milk and improve the environment that we're living in. We like to plant native plants in the riparian area. I don't even need to bring hive bees in to pollinate my apples because I have so many native bees. So it's looking at the land as part of an ecosystem, and it's all really important and really integral to not just the health of the cows, but all the flora and fauna. Dairies were portrayed by the anti-farm people as these monoculture environments that were just cows on a dead pasture land. It's so far from the reality of what we really have here.
The entire time we were at the farm, she was so open and excited to share what she knows, even digging into the archives to show us a bit of a past.
That's just some of when we first fenced off the creek, some of the native plants like the golden willow. You might not think that that's a dairy farm, but that's a dairy farm. This is when we had just fenced off the creek. Now it's all overgrown in there with willows. Our water quality is really important because we have a lot of downstream neighbors. So we want the water as it leaves our property to be as clean and in good shape as we can get it, which we can.
And at this point, it seemed like everyone stressed the importance of being organic, but I wanted to find out what that actually meant.
There's a national organic program that is a set of rules that we have to follow, and it's a big set of rules. And for us, it means feeding the cows all certified organic feed, which means all the farms that we buy our hay from are also organic, not having pesticides and herbicides in the environment. Just overall herd health and health of the land is really what it means, which is the health of the planet, really.
You can just tell how much she loves the farm and what they do, and their approach of being really naturalist and pure results in a unique and superior product. We'll get to see how the products are made and of course how they taste in just a little bit, but before we headed to the production floor, we wanted to quickly visit another farm that's more focused on innovation and the future. This is Correia Family Dairy, and recently they've invested in different pieces of equipment to help improve their overall operation.
So this is our separator and composter, in-vessel composter. And so we actually replaced our sand bedding with the compost.
So if you weren't using this machine, like where would you do the composting? Or like,
We wouldn't do compost.
oh, so you wouldn't?
at all.
Oh, okay. So this has allowed you to.
Yeah, so this has allowed us to do a little composting, and then now we can haul ourselves to other ranches to apply as fertilizer as well.
Oh, cool.
Just from the time frame of it being in there, it's just slowly turning the separated manure into the compost. It's hard to believe, but it still gets 140 degrees. Wow. Even in the pile, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this is not the sexiest technology, but it's innovations like these that allow these farms to be more efficient financially and have a better impact on the planet. And one of the things about working on the dairy farm is that sometimes you just have to step in and milk the cows yourself. So in the middle of our tour, he just headed over and started milking cows because one of his workers was out. But all of these technological innovations and organic practices are really just in service of creating a better product.
You know, when I started processing our milk and I was going, how can we ensure the best quality? It starts with the milk that we produce from the farms. So having pasture-based dairy, which is relying on the grasses when they're green, it's things that you grow that are local. The coastal climate has a big effect also. The salt air actually has a distinct terroir. Just really take the natural resources that we have and use them the best way we can.
But the farms are just a starting point. Once the milk arrives at the creamery, it still needs to be processed. So we met up with Ian to get an exclusive look at how the dairy products are actually made.
So we receive the milk from the farms. Our drivers go out into the field like 6 a.m. By 11 o'clock, they start rolling back in milk that we gather from our farm. And then by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, all the milk from the farms are in here, ready to be processed. We need to be very coordinated in terms of what we're gonna do first to make sure that we have the product prepared for tomorrow's packaging operations.
And once all of the milk has been processed and treated, it's ready to be turned into all of the amazing products that you can get in stores. But one of the most unique things about Straus is that they sell their milk in glass bottles.
The glass line, this is the first packaging line that Albert started the company with. He thought milk out of the glass bottles tastes different. It represents what real milk is, and that's really where his quote-unquote platform was. So over here, big part of the operation for the glass line is actually preparing the glass bottles. We've talked with bottle experts in the industry, and really they said these bottles will last forever until they break. This side of the operation is the most stressful part of the bottles because they get a lot of clinking. So if it breaks, it's gonna break here. But if you take care of it, it's just gonna keep coming back and reusing it. I've seen bottles with like 10-year anniversary kind of flow back through, like old logos come back through, and it's just interesting. It's a little piece of history.
But there's another good reason to use glass bottles.
The idea of reuse was the glass bottles made out of 30% recycled glass. We put a $3 deposit on the bottle. It goes all the way through distribution, retail to consumers. We get 70 to 80% of them back. It's an idea that reuse and minimal waste and impact on the environment and a high quality product that it produces.
Another unique thing about Straus is that they're able to produce very different dairy products on the same production floor. Normally these would be in completely different buildings, but they can produce milk, yogurt, ice cream, and butter all right here. And of course, it comes with its own challenges.
We can go as fast as 80 bottles per minute. The thing that we're worried about really, by going too fast, you actually create a lot of foam. And foaming is bad because you end up underfilling the product. Really, we spend a lot of time optimizing our run rates. We want to be able to produce as fast as we can, but also keep the quality. We make European style yogurt. We have these big stainless steel tanks and we put standardized milk in it and we culture it and we let it ferment in the tanks. There's nothing fancy about this. We're not adding any stabilizers or any thickeners. We're really just relying on the milk's quality to give us the texture that we want.
And while their milk and yogurt products are great, ice cream has a special place in Albert's heart.
For me, ice cream is one of the main reasons I started the creamery. So I have a weakness for ice cream.
What we've done here is we're making super premium ice cream. We're making ice cream with really high quality egg yolk, sugar, high quality milk and cream. You want to be incorporating a certain amount of air in it, which is called overrun, which really helps with the texture of the ice cream. We're incorporating a tiny amount of overrun in it to make sure that we get the scoopability right. When you're making ice cream, you want to freeze this product really fast. Ice cream comes out, we put it into the liquid nitrogen tunnel, and then we freeze it instantaneously. Within 10 minutes, we have ice cream that's really solid, hard, and that's ready for shipment.
And finally, we saw how Straus creates their most decadent product, butter.
Legally, for butter, you want to be at 80% fat. We take our butter to 85% fat, so a little bit more luxury, a little bit more fat content. You get a lot more in a small cube, essentially, and it tastes great. It really does taste great.
The butter production is amazing. They have a giant washing machine that helps clump up the fat into the butter. Then they move it to a giant tub where they literally have a butter shovel to pick up the butter before finally packaging it up. And this is also probably the most lucrative part of the entire production floor.
Merrill said that if you were to rob the place, this tub of butter that it winds up in is probably the thing that you'd want to take.
I'll make a killing in the flea market.
One of the things that struck me most about the creamery is how much of the production actually has a human touch. Every single collar on the glass bottles, for example, is put on by a worker. But after visiting the farms and seeing how all these products were made, I wanted nothing more than to finally try them out.
So we have lots of products here.
Yeah.
All the different things that we kind of saw in production. First question, the cream top. A lot of people don't know why it exists or what it is.
The whole concept is it's minimally processed dairy. So what we didn't do is this process called homogenization. And milk from cows, they have different sizes of milk globules. Those rise to the top and coagulate together essentially and create the cream top. You can mix it back in, you can consume it by itself. A lot of people put it in toast.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that's what it is.
You can mix the cream into the milk a little bit more if you like, but I actually kind of like those little cream bits in the milk as well. I feel like it's a nice little textural component that you don't get with other milks. Yum.
Let's start with the butter.
Nice.
Because that one is like really pure, just you're tasting the cream. So you would just take a bite. It's gotta taste clean.
I really like the texture on that too. That's great. I do like what you said about how clean the taste is. Like I feel like it feels very pure, which I like.
Yeah. It's really smooth, the texture is good, and that's what you want.
Yogurt next?
Yogurt, all right.
This is the yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt.
Ooh. Dude, it's like ice cream, I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So when you're tasting it, you feel that tanginess.
Yeah, I was about to
and
say,
tartness.
it does.
That's the tartness that you don't really see in a lot of other yogurts.
I love it. I think it's very unique to what makes this yogurt so flavorful. It's like, if you take that out, I feel like it doesn't feel like a high quality yogurt.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
How much ice cream do you eat when you're here?
It depends. Right now we're heavy on development, so it's all for science. The one thing that we are very concerned about for ice cream is the iciness.
What is iciness like?
You get like some hoarseness when you bite into the ice cream.
So it's not purely smooth or anything like that.
Correct. When it comes out of our lines or our floor, it needs to be creamy and smooth.
And I like this one because I feel like sometimes ice cream is just too purely sweet. I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel real, but I like that it's balanced with that creaminess.
That chocolate ice cream has kept me here for 14 years. That and the non-fat milk.
Nice.
I don't know why.
So with dairy being such an important product in the US, Straus is making sure that all of its consumers are getting the best possible dairy. And even as the company continues to grow, their relentless pursuit of creating the best products while uplifting their communities is impressive.
I feel like the employees at the creamery are our communities. It's all the love and nurture that everybody puts into these products that makes it special. The purpose of Creamery, it's not just to make a profit. We're a purpose-driven company to sustain family farms, keep our rural communities. That's why we need to keep true to our values. I love being where I live, I love my community, and this is something that's really important to me.